Hello, and thank you for taking a couple minutes out of your day to watch this brief video. A lot of you will know me from Night Franchises, which is a business that I started several years ago now. What a lot of you won't know is that about 3.5 years ago, I ventured into the world of business acquisitions and small business M&A. And over the last 3.5 years, I've actually acquired 7 companies. Now, not all of those have been a success. In fact, I've had some real train crashes in there, which I very openly share. But I have also had some wins. My very first company that I acquired in January 2020, I bought that for £1 and I sold that last July. And that was a 6-figure exit for me. The biggest mistake I made with that particular acquisition was that I didn't sell sooner. You see, most of the value for that was added in the first 3 to 6 months, and I actually would have got the same exit value had I sold it month 6 rather than month 25, 27, 24, 25. And so yeah, it's been a very interesting journey. If we're connected on LinkedIn, or if you follow me on LinkedIn, you will also see that over the last 2.5 years, I've gone into the children's sector, the children's education sector. I had absolutely no experience in this particular space. My main motivation was because I just turned a dad and I became fascinated with this whole new world. And in that space, we've gone from a standing start, like a complete newbie, to a multi-million revenue group, which consists of 3 companies and currently 17 employees. It's 17. It's been the most phenomenal experience, and this whole small business M&A has been so transformational for me personally, that I actually made the very emotional and big decision of closing down Night Franchises last year, just so that I could focus on this on a full-time basis, which has probably been one of the best decisions that I've ever made. Now, the reason I'm sharing this with you is because over the last 6 or 7 months, I've had a lot of people in my personal network come up to me and genuinely say, how are you doing this? What have you done? They have seen, because they've been a bit closer to me, they have seen my life completely turn upside down, and they essentially want to know how they can do that too. Now, I haven't been ready to really sort of share this, I suppose, and to start sharing my personal experiences until quite recently. You see, my last acquisition is a business called Playground Projects, which I acquired in October of last year, and that's been a very hands-on turnaround. I've been really at the sort of the front line with that, turning that business around. However, that business is now in a place where I've restructured and got the starting of a very good 2-person management team in there that are picking up 90% plus of the day-to-day work, which has given me a lot more bandwidth to actually start thinking about, how can I help people do this? How can I help those who've sort of approached me to sort of change their lives? But what I also know about this sector as well is that I have done every sort of buyer business training course out there, and in fact, with one of the main one, I'm actually one of the speakers on stage, and I've mentored a lot of people in those sort of communities over the last couple of years. But what I also know is that the majority of people who go on those courses don't actually end up buying a business. The conversion rate is around sort of 1 or 2 people out of every 100 will go on to acquire one business, and even less will go on to acquire multiple businesses, which doesn't quite sit right with me personally. It's this is not just about knowledge and education. It's actually about the doing, and that's really what has sort of formed what is now become a 6-figure turnaround, which is not a training course, but a fast track done with you accelerator to those people who are very serious about going down this path. This is one where I will literally be with you, and a small group of people who are in the same boat will be with you step by step, from initial, what's your plan, what are you trying to get out of this, all the way through to creating deal flow, generating targeted, pre-qualified conversations with sellers, all the way through to structuring deals, getting deals created in such a way that you're minimizing none or potentially a little bit, but really none of your own personal capital, because we always structure in a way in which we only ever put any of our own money in if we know we can get it out within a sort of 30-day window. I've never lost money on a deal with doing that, and the most money I've ever put into a deal is £15,000, which I got out within 30 days. So we go through all of that together, all the way through to sort of signing paperwork, post due diligence, and everything in between. It's a really fun, fast-paced experience, and it's one that needs to be done with care. It's one that needs to be done with ethics and morals. You're speaking with sellers of companies who've been building their businesses for 10, 20, 30 years plus. In many cases, this is their livelihoods as well. It's their pension pots, and that needs to be treated with respect, and deals need to be done in such a way that both you're winning and the sellers are winning. Now, this first cohort, this is the very first cohort. I've currently got 3 people on this first cohort. 2 of them are business partners. They run a very successful marketing company. They've won national awards. They are really, really fantastic at what they do. And the third person is a CEO of a PE-backed company that's still working in his corporate role, but is looking at this as a form of transition and putting my Knight Franchises hat on. I've personally worked with thousands upon thousands of sort of senior professionals who have been looking to sort of step out of their corporate roles. Traditionally we sort of presented franchising, but this is a very viable path as well. So with that particular person, it's not just about buying a business, it's also about incorporating and building a transition plan, which is something that I've done so many times now, and will be very happy sort of doing that again. This is about adding value. So there's 3 people currently. I'm looking for another 3 people, so that's a group of 6. The first 3 are already underway. We've already had our half-day strategy sessions. We're just at the moment confirming sectors and geographies, ready to start building our seller list and getting our personalised letters out, which is very much the first major hurdle that most people come across, but also the first major milestone as well. So if you are interested, please do drop me a text message. The number's in the email. Very friendly if you want to have a chat as well and just talk through this. I'm not looking to take people on for the sake of it. I really want to understand kind of where you're at, what you're looking to achieve, and I'll be very candid about whether I feel this is the right path for you. For me personally, I'm trialing this whole sort of approach. I don't know if there's going to be a second cohort, but what I do know is that everyone who joins the first cohort, I really will work with you all the way to getting that first business under your belt. So drop me a line and let's discuss your specific circumstances, your specific situation, and go from there. Thanks.